Hey everyone! So I actually had a lot of requests for this video is how do you get your splits? So when it comes to stretching, we're going to need a lot of support because stretching in and of itself, it's pretty intense. And so we want to do the work while feeling supported. So I highly recommend a block or a resistance band. If you don't have a block or a resistance band, you're more than welcome to use pillows, substituting your blocks, and towels, substituting your resistance band. It's just a matter, again, to feel that support because in order to get your splits, you want to target your hips and your hamstrings, and both of which you want to be gentle with yourself, you want to be patient, and you want to breathe through the stretch, and you don't want to hurt yourself first and foremost. So the first move that we're going to do, you're going to extend your right leg out onto the side, almost in a diagonal. If you can do it all the way to the side, go ahead and do that. You don't need to. I'm going to take my leg just onto the diagonal. And then if this is not happening where the knee touches the ground, you're just going to take your block or your pillow, and then you're going to put it underneath your knee. Okay? So starting with the first one, inhale here. Make sure your back is nice and long. On the exhale, walk your hands forward in front of you. So your hips are coming up and over. And then you should feel this on your inner right thigh and your hamstrings. It should feel nice. And then each pose that we do today, you're going to hold it for about 3 to 5 breaths. I highly recommend 5 breaths. You don't need longer. There's a lot of resources out there that says you can stay for up to a minute or longer than a minute. You really don't need to, as long as you do these moves consistently every day, 3 to 5 breaths, it's good to go. Inhale here. On the exhale, you're going to walk your hands over towards your right foot. And then really reach your left hip down to the mat or to the ground. These exercises are also great to do in bed because since the bed molds to your body, you'll also feel nice and supported and you'll feel the stretch. Inhale, come to center. On the exhale, walk your hands back, and then you're just going to switch. So go ahead and move these props onto the side. The more props you have when you stretch, the better, to be honest with you. Bend into the right. You're going to extend the left leg out onto the side, and then slowly walk your hands forward. And then just relax there. If you notice any tension building up on the back of the neck, on your shoulders, just make sure you do any shifts to bring oxygen and to release, right? When we stretch, we create space. When we create space, the muscles are working to really build the flexibility. And again, stay gentle with yourself. Walk your hands over to the left leg. Just reaching your right hip down onto the ground. So again, you want to target your hips and your hamstrings when you want to reach those splits. And splits may take a long time. They may or may not, depending on your body. Come all the way up. What's good is that you are targeting your hips. There's a lot of tension that's held on your hips, and whenever you stretch the back of the leg, it just translates all the way up onto your back, and then the back side of the body just feels amazing when you target it. Go ahead and walk your hands forward, targeting hip flexors here. So a great way to use a prop here, you can use a block, and then you can hold on, you can press your forearms on top of the block, and then your hips are moving up and forward. Most importantly, out of anything else. You can micro bend the knees, you can do any shifts, remember, but most importantly is to keep a straight back. So whenever you find yourself going like this, where it's like a little bit of a turtle back, just come back a bit and make sure you have a long spine and then come forward. If you're ready for a little bit more sensation, you can put your forearms down on the ground. If this isn't enough and you're feeling it a lot, stay here. Good, breathe in. Breathe out. Good, come all the way up. Extend your arms sideways, and then you're gonna go over that right leg. Inhale to come up. It's like you're painting a rainbow above yourself. Again, the goal when you're stretching is not to reach. The goal is to have a nice alignment, to relax onto the stretch. Inhale up. Stay easy with yourself. You never want to force anything. The moment you force something is a moment you might get hurt. Inhale here. Exhale, you're going to twist your body. Left hand comes towards your right foot. You should feel the outside of the leg here and a little bit of the hamstring. Maybe your calf and definitely your hip. Inhale here. Exhale, twist it over towards your left leg. Just reaching your right shoulder towards your left knee. Inhale here. Let's do that one more time. Exhale. See where you're at and then use your block or use your pillow. If this is enough, that's fine. Remember, the goal is to keep your back long and send oxygen down to the lower body. Inhale. Exhale, cross it over. You really want to twist, 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 twist. So you want to reach your right hand towards your left leg as much as possible without compromising this side. That'll come up. Okay, so keep your hips down to the ground. Long spine. Inhale, come up to center, and then you're going to walk your hands forward one more time. This time we're going to stay for a little longer. 5 breaths is ideal. The more you hold onto this pose, the more you stay onto this pose, the more you'll feel that your legs can just open up a little bit more. That's the goal. Let's call that 3 breaths. So 2 more breaths here. Good, last inhale. Ooh, on the exhale, stay for a little bit, and then slowly walk your hands all the way back. Beautiful. Okay, taking on to pigeon pose. On the right side, bend your right knee. Your left knee is extended behind you, and think of it, your hip, knee, and toes, they're all aligned with each other. And then you're gonna slowly walk your hands forward. Again, using your block, super helpful. You can put your forearms on top of your block, because again, the goal is to maintain a long spine behind you. And then maybe you'll notice here that the belly's like flapping out. Squeeze your belly in. Just protecting your lower back. Good, breathe in. I'm gonna remove my block as I'm ready to go just a little lower. Now, for those with very tight hips, this is very helpful. So you're gonna put a block, let's see, underneath your right hip. So you're gonna sit on that block, and then you're gonna walk yourself all the way down. Yes. Your block is under your thigh, so it's not necessarily under your bum, just under your thigh, so that you can lift up as much as you can. And then you're gonna walk, walk, walk forward. Yes. Good. On the inhale, come all the way up. Bend your left leg behind you. Extend the right leg forward. If this isn't happening, sit on the block. Just like so. Just sit on it. Okay? On the inhale, long spine. On the exhale, walk your hands forward. Your forehead comes towards your toes. Forehead towards the toes, not the knee, towards the toes. Look forward, long spine. Remembering, I'm going to remove my block from under myself. Remembering that long spine. And then if you want to open up the leg just a little bit more behind you. So this is actually your half split position. Breath in, breath out. On the inhale, come all the way up. You're going to bend onto that leg. We're going to switch sides, taking pigeon on the left side. Taking any variation you took on the other side, and then noticing that one side can be more flexible than another or tighter, however you want to look at it. Walk yourself forward, and then notice any sensations that come up. If anything feels uncomfortable, back out of it, adjust, and then come back to it. You want to be on that space where it's your edge. It's uncomfortable, but you can stay. It's uncomfortable, but you can stay. It's a little bit on the ish, not painful. I wouldn't want to call it painful, but you can breathe through it. Inhale there. Exhale if you can go just a little deeper. On the inhale, you're going to walk yourself all the way up, bend onto your right leg, extend your left. Okay, open your knee as much as you can. Sit on that block if you need to. Inhale here. Exhale, walk your hands forward. You want to be comfortably uncomfortable. And then you'll notice that the more you pull your right hip back, the more you will feel on your hamstring and on your calf and all the way up towards that leg, all the way up towards your hip. Long spine. Forget about touching toes. Forget about touching belly to thigh. Just breathe and long spine. Breathe and long spine. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. On the exhale, we're going to go back to that straddle position. Open both legs out into the side, and then walk your hands down and forward. Use your block if you need to. Sometimes I just like to use my block to put my forehead down on it if it's just comfortable. And again, I don't need to go intense on it. I already feel something here. So if I plan on staying for 5 breaths, this is a great level, a great pose, or I can just stay. If I do any more, I might not be able to stay as long as I want. So just gauging there. Breath in, breath out. Good. On your next inhale, walk yourself all the way back. Breathe here. Now we're going to take our block away from the center. And then we're going to put our knees and open them up wider than your hips. look back. Your ankles should be aligned with your knees. I'm actually going to reach for my block here. Make sure that your block is right in front of you. A great one, or your pillow. If this is enough right here, just stay. This is a really, really intense hip opener and a great pose to stay past those 5 breaths. So if you want to stay a minute, stay a minute. If you want to put a 2-minute music tune, do that, and then just let your thoughts drift away from how uncomfortable you're feeling and into how good the music is. So we're going to breathe here. I'm actually going to put my block just a little bit forward. And then you're going to feel your hips getting closer and closer to the mat. I'm just making sure that my ankles are aligned with my knees. And then your hips stay knee level. So try not to go forward where your belly just lies on the ground. Just shift your hips back so they're on the same level with your knees. And then breathe. Drop your hips. So you'll feel that the more intense that this gets, the more your hips want to back out of it, and you'll start to lift that booty up. So just relax here. Take notice of that and then come back into it. Breath in. Send loving oxygen down to your hips. And then slowly, once you're done, you're going to come back. Slowly close your knees here. Reach your hands towards the front of the mat. We're going to take child's pose. It should feel really good on your hips. Good. We're going to take one more pose. Sit on your bum here. And then actually 2 more poses. You're going to place one knee on top of the other knee. If this is not happening, one leg on top of the other leg. If this is not happening, where your knees go close, your right knee is close to your left foot, and then vice versa, either sit on the block, just sit on the block, and then put one leg on top of the other, or you can support it by putting that block underneath one leg, and then the other leg. And then you'll notice that your feet are going to separate just a little bit more, okay? And then you're going to aim for that foot to get closer to the knee. Yes? So take whichever variation, either one leg on top of the other, just stacking it, one leg on top of the other, with the block, without the block, or stacking one knee on top of the other. And then go ahead and walk your hands forward. We're stretching the back of the hips here. And then the longer your back, the more you'll feel it on the back of the hip. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Breath out to stay. On the next inhale, walk your hands back. And then switch sides. Switch your legs. Inhale. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Stretching can be just so relaxing as well. It's like a meditation because you're using your breath so profoundly and so intensely. And you're focusing on the inhales and the exhales, that it could really be a meditative experience. Last breath in. Breath out. On the inhale, walk your hands back. Good. Last thing we're going to do, we're going to extend both legs in front of us. Okay, this is where the resistance band may come in handy. So if you have a long resistance band, you can fold it in half and then grab on 3/4 in and then reach around. You're going to wrap them around your feet. You're going to pull your toes back towards your nose. You're going to notice that your back is nice and long, okay? If this is not happening, go ahead and grab your pillow or your block and you're just going to sit on it. You're going to sit on it, or you're going to place it underneath your knees here. And you're also going to stretch it out, okay? Why do you want to sit on it? Because you want a straight back. So you don't want this deal right here where your back is curved, okay? So you want to lift by sitting on the block, lengthen, and then stretch. Right, Bruno? He's slipping over. Breathe here. No worries if you don't have a resistance band. A towel works just as well. I've been there, I've done it. And then you can stay here for about 5 breaths. Come up, relax onto it, just breathe, and then go back in. Inhale. Exhale. Great stretch for the lower back as well. Always protecting it by squeezing in your belly. On the inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release. If you want to take the straddle one more time, you can do it. If you want to end it here, go ahead and end it here. I'm going to take it just for kicks. And then I'm going to open just a little bit more because I feel more flexible. And just walk your hands forward. And it's as if you're pulling your hips back. You're hinging up and over. Inhale here. On the exhale, walk yourself back. Beat your legs. Beat, 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 beat. That should feel really good. If you have any questions, reach out to me, DM me, any suggestions, send them my way. I hope you guys feel amazing and stretched. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.